Well, this is what we're back to watching apparently. We don't have anything good or new anymore. We watch Hazel, and this guy is even smoking on TV, which it's illegal to show anything like that nowadays. So, well, yeah, but anyway, uh, we've probably got, I would say 30, 35 channels of these old movies. Dragnet, Beverly Hillbillies, Petticoat Junction. Uh, couldn't even tell you. I mean, they're just so damn old anymore. All right? But let's see. This will come up real quick. Hazel, uh, and this death of George Floyd is really starting to get to be a pain in the ass. That's just going to cause another riot of sort. Uh, Looting. Yeah, I can understand protesting, sometimes even getting a little carried away, but when you start stealing, that's just what it is. It doesn't give you a right to steal, loot, burn down buildings in your own neighborhood, rob from the stores in your own neighborhood, which is only worse. But McHale's Navy, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, The Virginian. Uh, what else do we have up here? Uh, the $6 Million Man, Emergency, The $6 Million Woman, or what, Bionic Woman, that's what it is. And then all these in between are just news channels that, we don't watch. I mean, news channels, news and sports. Oh, now we're making a transition here. Oh, we do have an educational program. Yeah, right. And then we go right back up to government stuff and news, home shopping, news. What's this? Well, now we're getting down into the local, like Fox and stuff like that. So we have the little, what is it? Wendy show. I think it is People's Court. Judge Mathis. Yeah, okay. Hot Bench. Yeah. Just goes to show you that even the justice system is now having fun with TV. Access something, access goal something, I don't know. But so far, I don't know, I've went through, what, 70, 80, 90 channels, more than that, and I haven't seen anything that had anything that was somewhat up to date. That's all there is to it. Uh, news. And, all this news is basically all about the same thing, but with a different spin. It's all their opinions. So, what's the real news? We don't hear the real news anymore. It's Fox's opinion, all right? It's CNN's opinion. It's CBS's opinions. It's the News Network opinion. It's the Newsies opinion. It's not like here it is. You make a decision. All right? Center Court sports. Now I'm going back the other way. I just went from uh, one. No, I went from 10:21 on the channels, and now I'm up to 12:55, and I see nothing but news and sports and home shopping networks. Storage Wars. That on that A&E channel has continuous. That is, it should be called the Storage War channel because A&E come on, you know what I mean? And it's repeats. They don't even show all the other ones that were out there. You know, they had some in New York, they had some in Florida, they had some in Canada. Spread them out if you're going to saturate the channel 24/7. All right. Supernatural, another old one. What else we got here? Escape Room, yeah. The Host, well, that's somewhat new, 2013. Bar Rescue, yeah. We're trying to keep people out of bars, and we're rescuing. We're going in there and showing how it is in the bar. The BBC channel 418. It's got the Star Trek. You know, it's one of those type. But I can deal with those if they're separated enough and they're somewhat up to date. Well, up to date. You know what I mean by that. And this here channel, whatever it is. Oh, the Game Show channel. Now we're really hit. Gunsmoke, Bonanza, ER, Monk. Monk can be at times, but you know what? After you've seen it years and years, you know, the repeats get tired. The Killing Field. World's Dumbest. Yeah, that's us for watching this shit and paying big money for it. Ice Road Truckers. There we go. Alright, there's another great one. Ice Road Trucker. Comedy Channel. Gilmore Girls. Columbo. Come on. Right. We the People. I wish it was that way again. If we built it today, well, that's not too bad. Underground Marvels, blah, blah, blah. It's a science channel, and I kind of like some of that stuff. Little House on the Prairie. Home and Family. Yeah, okay. If you know, you can get into that. Ruby or whatever. Metlock. The Waltons. Crack. I forgot what I was reading about that one. On the down below. That's something about, I don't know, murder, killing or something. Another good one to bring onto TV with this system that people don't need an excuse to do it already. They're out there doing it. Treehouse and Tank. Well, those are repeats. Treehouse I'm kind of tired of. Tank, it's somewhat entertaining at times. Below Zero. Air Warriors. Cocaine History. Between the Lines. Come on. Alright. What else we got here? Food Paradise. Oh, now we're going to get everybody fat. We live in a country that everybody is overweight and they nothing but talk about how we're overweight, and then what do? They plaster the channels with food channels. Good Eating. Duck Dynasty. It's okay, but you know, it's another one you get tired of real quick. King of Queens. That's another one. I Live in What? That could be interesting at times. Travel. The Expeditions. Some of those are okay, but when they start showing the repeats, it starts getting a little crazy. Hunter. Hey. Monsters. I think it's Monsters Inside Me or something. Monsters Inside Me. Mystery ER. And then after that, we're music channels. And yada, 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 and it only gets worse. So, how many channels are actually there that I watch? I had maybe a couple maybes. Now, I know there's people that like all this stuff, but you know what? The cable companies are just scratching at the bottom of the barrel right now to dig up whatever they can to fulfill somewhat of whatever the contract it is that they're trying to fill. That's why your contract is always in their favor. You know, because it can change, you know, at the discretion of blah blah blah, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So when they take away all your good stuff, you're screwed. Yeah. Well, we're not going with them next year. Our next renewal. Whenever the contract is up, we're gone. Yeah. Put up a big dish in the yard. I'll put up an 8-foot, 10-foot, and I'll get thousands of channels. Right, live feed. So, all right. Catch you guys in a few. Okay, so. Okay. I gotta pick up a little bit. I'm looking for a meter. I can't find it. I was gonna use the nail gun to do the fence, but after thinking about it and talking with the wife, if we ever had to take the fence down, it would be a lot easier to be able to take it down without destroying it. So what I do want to do, though, is I want to have, now that I have it out and I oiled it and it's been sitting there, I want to put a couple of nails into a piece of wood. Just to make sure that everything is still working okay. Lock and load. Now, anything that fires a projectile must be treated carefully. Never pointed at anything. Keep it pointed in a safe direction. Keep your finger off the trigger. Consider it loaded. There's no such thing as an unloaded nail gun. I mean, you got to remember these things with anything that fires a projectile. They're all the same. All right, now I want to find a piece of crap.
My friend Bill, my liberal guy.
Yeah.
He sends me an email that he has a cousin down in North Carolina, and I guess their neighbors are rowdy and they have guns and they're shooting off guns and everything. He says, "Boy, people, we should have guns." I said to him, "I don't know what North Carolina laws are. I do know here in Connecticut, we have very stringent gun laws."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so then he emails me back and he says, "Well, you shouldn't be allowed. Nobody should be allowed to have automatic weapons. No civilians should be allowed to have automatic." And I emailed him back. I said, "Civilians are not allowed to have automatic weapons."
Well, fully automatic. Well, they can.
I know. He's talking. I know what he's talking about.
Right. Okay.
And I clarified it. I said they're not allowed to have automatic weapons. I said only military and police are allowed to have automatic weapons. I said civilians are allowed to have semi-automatic. I said, but here in Connecticut, they all have to be registered with the state, and what the hell did I call it? I know I called it the right thing, the thing that goes in the thing.
Well, if you keep doing
with
that
the
while you're talking,
rounds.
you're
With
going
the
to have a lot
rounds.
of
Come
things
on, what is
going
it?
in
Before I
the
lose my train of thought.
Hey, keep doing that.
Just
It's nice to have an
before I
Italian,
lose my train of thought.
an Italian wife.
Hey.
Hey, for those of you who may not be seeing this, she's talking about the thing that goes in the thing, and she's doing this at the same time. And now she's over there rubbing her head and laughing
Hey,
about
what
it.
is, now you're going to make me lose my train of thought.
All right, so
What
you're
is
talking
it
about
called?
a thing that went in the thing. Are we talking the birds and the bees?
No, hey, come on, just tell me what it is. I keep forgetting.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what thing in the thing.
The thing that holds the rounds. That
Oh,
you
the
put-
magazine.
The magazine.
Yeah.
And I excused it. I said the magazine, and the magazine can't be, any magazine that holds more than 10 rounds also has to be registered. Because having a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds is illegal. So you have to register them.
Right.
So I said, like I said, I don't know North Carolina laws, but this is what happened. This is what it is in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I said, as far as your friend in North Carolina, you prove my point. That guy is going to have a firearm no matter what laws are in place. Because he's not a responsible person.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh boy, you hit on the wrong subject now, because I do know something about this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. So what I'm going to do before I put this gun away?
Oh, I'm looking for that thing. I forgot.
Okay. I am going to drive a few nails into this real quick, just to make sure it works. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I really
I
don't.
checked around the cub today.
I mean, I've been looking, and I have no idea.
I mean, you could left it anywhere, babe.
I know. I looked in the truck. I didn't see it in the truck.
Now, there's that habit of using something and just putting it down somewhere.
Well, I know, and I'll walk someplace with it to do something else and forget about it. Well, that would work better if you had a light on back there.
See?
I mean, this is something I've misplaced before, but it's easy to find. That's why I don't know why I'm not finding it. Let me put a couple of nails in this thing, make sure this works. Oh yeah. Okay, that works. Now, let me just make sure there's no air.
And it's got a screen on it, right? Like I did, like a screen.
Yeah, the screen is about the size of this. And it's a big screen. Hey, Tuck Tuck. Back there, it's there. And the cheaper one I would use, you know, just carry it around, do what I need to do with it. So, all right, don't worry about it, babe.
I'm going to go and take a shower.
All right. What you got?
After I bring him back, I'll run out to the store, get your corn muffins, and stop at
Alright.
Walgreens and get some chicken
All right.
fillets. I put a pickup order in at Walgreens.
Yeah.
I was watching one of the people I watch on YouTube is one couponer,
Yeah.
and she had a video on last night, and I said, I'm definitely going to check this out and see if I can get this stuff. So I did go on this morning, and I got 3 tubes of Crest Pro Health toothpaste, 1 Oral-B toothbrush, and 2 bottles of Axe body wash
Oh.
for $10.37.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the toothpaste alone is like $3 and change a tube.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm going to get back something like $6 in Walgreens cash.
Okay.
So I'm going to take that, I'm going to go back into the aisle, and I'm going to get the chicken jerky.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
I'll come and look for it later on again. I mean, knowing you could have put something on top of it too. You know, a cloth, a rag.
Well, I was thinking, you know, but under the hood of the truck, I was checking batteries. I looked under all there. And if I did put it under there, there's no place where it would have fallen out as to if I put it there. You follow me?
Yeah.
No. All right, go do what you got to do. I love you.
I'll look into when I'm ready to take I'll let the three stay outside.
Yeah, just do it casually.
Bring him out
Yeah,
to the front.
don't make it a deal. You know what I mean? Just be casual with it. All right, now, what I am looking for here is a container that I can put that oil into so that I can pour it back into what it needs to be put into. However, I cleaned all the containers and I can't find any of them. And I know if I try to pour it in, it's going to go, oh wait a minute. Wait, just a minute. That's why I keep some milk cartons laying around and I cut them so I can use them as throwaway funnels. Oh, here it is. Here it should be. This may be a little bit big. Oh, now I need to make an adapter so that I can double. That's not going to be hard to do. Ho, 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 ho. Might as well do that. Yes, watch this. I gotta find another top. Hold on. As long as we're doing this, I'm sidetracked already. I guess I can just continue on being sidetracked. You know what? I got hundreds of these things around, so I'm just going to take this one. Okay. What I'm going to do, simple. This here way, I'll keep this cap because I'll always be able to use it. I'm going to put these two caps together. I'll glue them, epoxy them, seal them, drill a hole through them. So then I can take these on here, that on there, pour the oil in here, and I don't have to worry about it. However, I can't do that now because I got to get that done, and that's going to take a few minutes to do. All right, screw it. What did I do with the nails? No, see, that's not going to happen. All right, let me get this one. I think I have. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. What was that down there? Oh, okay. Let me see how much of it I can get out into this. Okay. Now I can probably do this. Here we go. So Bud has to go to the doctor's again today for his checkup on his ears. The first checkup was about 2 months ago. And that's when they ended up putting the drain in, which was good. The following week, we went and they took the drain out and the ear was looking good. And they put him on some medication to keep him going to make sure that everything was fine. Drain was out, the lumps were down. E-I-E-I-O. And then took him back again. And this doctor is not having me just keep bringing him back because they want to make money. So far he's been a really good guy. Like I say, his system needs to be updated a little bit. His so-called surgery, you know, his operating room, surgery room. That's all good. His examining room, however, could be updated a bit. And I know why he's doing it the way he is right now. Because he's trying to keep social distancing and letting you come in with your pet. Yeah. I'll tell you about that as I'm doing this once I get something to put this in. And something to put those in. I guess I can leave those in there. This, I got a funnel around here someplace. What am I farting around with? I mean, like a real funnel. Don't ask me where, but I know I have one. I told you, don't ask me where. Ah, I found it. Where was it? It was hanging under the coat. Yeah, I could have done this the first time. Well, maybe not. It's not all that stable. I did want two hands. Okay, put that in there for a minute. Now, I don't know if you guys ever done this or not, but when you're in the engine compartment of a boat and you want to make sure that if you're doing anything with any type of a fluid, you don't want to get anything in the bilge, because if it ends up in the bilge, it'll end up in the water. Regardless of how small it is, because a drop of oil can look like 100 gallons of oil. Plus, when you're in the engine room, you want to keep it clean. My engine room in the Formula, hydraulic, it would open up, and then I'd walk down the stairs, and from the time that it opened, as soon as I set foot on the stairs, they were like an aluminum, and they had the little holes in the steps, you know, so the grip and all that, like a fire escape type of thing. And you walk down the stairs, and I'm between the two engines. I had that whole thing where I can eat off of it. Everything was painted battleship gray, as far as the deck, you know, inside, well, inside the wall, inside the everything. It was the motors, eat off them. I didn't want oil falling on the floor. A couple drops of oil, next thing you know, I'm on my ass someplace, or I'm polluting. So when I take out a funnel that I may have used, I put a paper towel up in it. And I leave it there. Because now I don't have to worry about anything going. The paper towel will absorb anything that may be there, and I'm done. Then I just put it away. I hang it up. Little paper towel goes a long way. Alright, I'm going to leave this like this. I'm going to put it down in there so I can't kick it over. Let me put this. I got to find a home for these nails, because that's a good container. Container. A container. A container. Contain it, or it contains. Alright. Now, I was just thinking I might be able to just stack these nails in here, and let me find that piece of crap rag I just had. And we're just going to do this. Hopefully. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You fell in there. You can't fall out. Oh, you guys are not all going to fit in there? I don't want to hear it. here so it can rain. Let it rain. So anyway, he went back and they said that they're going to see if they can get those ears to open a little bit, you know, by shrinking some of the, I'll take a picture of it, you'll know what I'm talking about. He says, and if they've been infected like they have for as long as they have, what he's going to do, he wants to give them a month worth of steroids. What? I'm going to leave it up to you. You're the doctor. Doctor, doctor. That fits. And this is holding it down. All right. So we know it works. We took it out. We did a trial run. Putting it back up is going to be a bit of a chore. Okay. Oh, here they are. So while I'm talking to you about that, oh, I got my do-rag on. My do-rag. My hair's a mess. I washed it, and I went to sleep with it. Oh boy, you know what happens then? Okay, now, what do I want to do with this? First thing is I want to clean it. Look at some acetone. I gotta buy some small rags. Not rags. Some, well, I want to say cheap, but it's not cheap regardless. I want to get some cotton balls to have here. I have some in the emergency, you know, the first aid kit, and I don't want to start using them. So. But I do want to get some cotton balls, and I want to get some of that double-aught steel wool. I do have some steel wool over here. Unfortunately, though, it's not double-aught. Okay. So there's some acetone. Oh, the other day, too, as long as I'm talking about it, let me get the rating. Yeah, the other day I was talking about this glue. I was using some of it. This doesn't seem to be too bad. There's another one out there I heard which is good. They're all about the same. But there's another one out there, Mercury, I think it's called. Is that a lip on there? That is a lip. That's not going to sit very well with that lip on there. And it's apparently made here in the US. Can't hurt, that's for sure. Scuffing it up a little bit ain't gonna bother it. Anything that's gonna help it. Anyhow, I was talking with somebody, and they said to me, no, I thought, oh, apparently I didn't. I thought, did I have that open? I didn't. If you guys are watching, pay attention. Right? I normally don't put the top on this thing until I hear air when I squeeze the bottle. That usually tells me that all of the, now this is way too much. Now I used it, I keep it up for a few minutes. Hopefully all the stuff gets out of the end. And then I will listen, squirt, I hear air. The top has a seal in it. I put a little piece of rubber seal in there just to make sure. So now when I close it, it's closed. Apparently I didn't give it a little squeeze before. I can't remember now. I'm going to try it again. Acetone. If you use acetone, I was told, or I heard, I don't remember, but it was something to do with the fact that the auxiliaries that you buy, yeah, right, I'll pick out another word that I can talk about, that you buy to help speed up the cure time is mainly alcohol. I mean, acetone. Now, that can kind of sound like, oh, I mean, it kind of makes a little bit of sense in a way. So I tried it when I was putting something together that really, it didn't have a hinge on it. I wanted it to hinge. So what I had done was I put some black duct tape on it. And I put acetone on the case, I put the glue on the tape, and I put it on there, and I'm saying, oh, this isn't going to work. Both. It worked. Now, when I did have the spray bottle of the, the Speedy Dry stuff, I noticed that it had a little bit of an oily substance. And I realized when I was using the acetone that it was drying up real quick. So it was almost as if my thought was the acetone, because it dries as fast as it was drying. I know I'm going confusing here. They added some type of a oil of sort, whatever, or something, to keep it from drying up as fast as it does. Acetone's like alcohol almost. You know, you put it on something and it's dry. So the only thing I think that's different would be that. There. I'll let that sit. So anyway, today Bud goes again for his checkup. He's here. Let's see what goes on. I mean, if he has to stay, I really don't like to see anybody or any animal, any living thing, to where it actually has to stay on a maintenance drug of some sort. Now, if that's the case, you know, that's the case. You know, the other option is, which I am not going to consider, I would take him every week if I had to. Well, maybe not every week, but the doctor did say, the vet, did say that there's a surgery out that they can do where they go inside and they cut inside the ear. However, it makes them deaf. They'll get rid of the ongoing infections if it's an ongoing infection thing, but it takes away their hearing. And I really don't want to take the hearing away from a dog, especially, when they survive, they count on their hearing. So we're going to do the best we can to work with him. Now, his ears hang. They kind of, well, you've seen them. I'm wondering if there's a way of clipping them to get them upright a little bit so more air can get in. The problem being is let me put this up here a little bit. I want to try something. The problem being is that the ear canal out here, more so, is kind of like all closed up. Now once you get through there, the channeling or the canal itself is open. But it's the outer part. It looks almost like, what do you call it, cauliflower ear from a boxer. And it starts to close up a little bit. If you go like this, you can see it. If you get in there, you can get in there. So the thing is, they're not open enough so that when he, the normal sweating, the licking that Jem likes to do on his ears, because over the last so many years, him having these infections, she would continue to nurse him by licking it, which in a way is making it worse. So, but anyway, she's breaking that habit. We just keep telling her no every time we see her do it. So now, it's getting much better. His ears are clean, so if they can perk those ears up a little bit so that they're not covering, it'll allow a little bit more air to travel into, and that may do it. So I'm going to see if there's a way of just doing a little clip on them to keep them upright. Because to me, that's going to be much better than making the guy deaf. That's not going to happen. Now, the other doctor that we used to have, which I like, I'm sorry that she moved so far away. But hey, come on. The other vet, Frenchie, she said that, because she's seen him when we first got him, and she said that they can put, I forgot what she said, it's like a drain, like a tube in the ear, something like you would put in a baby's ear or an adult ear if they have a problem. They put the tube in there to drain it. So I'm thinking, I said to her, well, if you can put a tube in to drain it, do they have any type of like a stent type thing you can put in there and leave to help keep it open? Even if you open it up a little bit more. And she said she wasn't totally positive, but she has heard of it. So, all right. So that may be another option. But again, right now we're talking options. So the wife's taking blood today for me. Now, what time is it? Because normally I take blood. Jem, we don't know how she's going to be. She hasn't been to a vet under our care yet. So we really don't know how that's going to be. I'm guessing she's going to be okay. Now, Nikki is another story. Nikki is the one that tore the shirt off of Vet Tech when we first got him. And then it got so that I had to be in the room with him when we went to the new one. And I would hold him this way. I'm not hanging on like this, but I'm holding him and I'm talking to him. And I got him by the collar. And the vet would do all her work from behind me. Not on this side of me, but behind me. Because if he's going to turn, you know, he's going to turn towards her. So if I have him this way and she's doing something he doesn't like, he's going to be able to get over there. If I'm here, he's not going to do it. And he's not going to bite me. So that's how we used to work, and it worked fine. I was telling the new guy about him and how he's really a good, you know, but he just doesn't like things being done. And unless I'm there, it's going to be a problem. So we gave him a quarter of a thunder pill, we call them. And again, I say this over and over again. If the vet says give him a full pill, don't do it. Because I'm going to tell you, everyone reacts different. We gave him, any of the guys that we had to take and give him a pill, even for like with the thunderstorms and things, we never give him a whole pill. We would give him a quarter of a pill. Quarter of a pill makes him just a shot. You know, right, you know. You give him a whole pill, that's close to killing him. I mean, really. So you can always give him another quarter. You follow me? Give him a quarter of a pill, wait a couple hours, and you're going to see everything is fine. So Nikki, that went from tearing shirts off of vet techs with a quarter of a pill, all right, and they recommend a whole pill, with a quarter of a pill, was like, I got him on the table and I'm talking to the doctor about him, and the doctor, he lays down on the table, Nikki, not the doctor, he lays down on the table, the doctor gave him 3 shots, drawn blood, checked him out, and Nikki's just on the table, looking around, you know, and that was it. Quarter of a pill. You know, and the same thing with Bear. The first time we took Bear to the vet, a year old, was a little over a year. We had him for about a year. So he was maybe 14, 15 months. They could not get near him to give him an exam. They had to give him a shot to slow him down a little bit. You know, and that was a really tough one to do. So they says, here, next time you bring him, give him a whole pill. Not going to happen. You know your pets. They don't need that whole pill. And you can always give them a little more if you have to. You know, you don't want the thing to be passed out. You know, I mean, to where you can flip him around. We're not sedating him for surgery. So we would give Bear a quarter, and he'd walk in, and but he just didn't really care. Where the other ones, sometimes you got to carry them in if you give them too much. So, and like I say, you can always give them another quarter in a couple of hours if you think they really need it. But if you pay attention to your animals and you know what's going on and how they're reacting, and how their routine is, you're going to see a difference after an hour and a half, 2 hours, that, okay, that quarter worked. Yeah, he's up, he's around, but he's got that I don't care attitude, and that's what there is to it. I'm not saying don't believe the vets or the doctors. I'm just saying try it yourself first. It's like pain management. You go to pain management, their job is to free you from as much pain as possible. And that means give you whatever we need to give you. You may not need all that, but people take it. It's somewhat of, you're building a rapport with your patient like a drug dealer would build with one of his buyers, and that's all there is to it. But you may not need it all. I'm going to tell you something about, because I had back surgery, and the surgery made it worse. So I was at pain meds. When he started me on pain meds, he had me on 40 milligrams of one thing, through the course of the day. He had me on 3 Vicodin 750s 3 times a day with the 40 milligrams of this other shit. And, you know, I'm laying on the couch, the wife would come home, what'd you do today? What's today? You know? I mean, I was pain free, but I was also brain dead. So I said, this isn't me. So I started gradually cutting back. So for the first 10 days, I took 1 Vicodin away. Okay, not a problem. No pain, everything's fine. The next 10 days, I had taken another Vicodin away. I do it like every 7 to 10 days. Don't expect it to happen immediately. But if you're going to want to draw yourself off of anything, do it over a 10-day or 7-day period of time. Let this shit get out of your system a little bit. So I cut 1 Vicodin. 10 days later, I felt fine. I said, I'm going to take another one off. So I took another one off. Went another 10 days. Not a problem. No pain. I'm starting to think. I'm not sleeping all the time. I took another one off. So within 30 days or so, I had freed myself from all the Vicodins. And I have no pain. But see, the pain management, not that they want to stuff you with drugs, but their job is to get you pain-free. And they don't know, so they're just giving you what they feel they're going to have to give you. Next time they see you, they're going to ask you, you know, no, I'm not in pain. You know, okay, well then let's just leave it like it is for a while. You know, oh, I am in pain. Well, let's just up it then, you know. Not too often do you hear them say, oh, you're not in pain, let's drop it back a little bit. They will over time, but they got to feel you out as well. So the next 10 days, the 40s, which weren't 40s, they were 10s. And there was 4 a day. I broke one in half. Next 10 days, got rid of the other half. So now I'm down to 30 a day instead of 40. Next 10 days, broke another one in half. 10 days go by, now I'm down to 25. Still no pain. Now why I'm waiting 10 days is because if I just decided to cut them in half, and then the pain comes back, I'm saying, oh shit, that didn't work, and you go back to the full amount. Take them off a little bit at a time. It takes time. Give yourself the time in between. If you're starting to feel it come back in a little bit, give it a chance to see how far it's going to come in, and is it something you can deal with or not, you know? And the next thing you know, I was down to 20. You know, I mean, it's just, it works down. Next thing you know, I'm down to 10, you know. Boom. Now, no more meds for me. I take 1 5 milligram a day, all right? I'm always in a little pain, but it doesn't bother me. You know, it's not to where, you know, I know it's there. If I talk about it, I feel it. But for the most part, it doesn't bother me at all. You know, and meanwhile, what am I doing? I'm at the fire department, you know, the Coast Guard. I'm out here. Yeah. Oh, you look so damn cute. Sorry about that. Wife came in and asked me a question. So, I never know what the question's going to be. So, at that point, I don't have any issues, you know, and everything's fine. I'm living what I would think is a normal life for a 72-year-old. I think I'm actually doing a little bit better than normal. This, unfortunately, got in my way, only because last year I went on an ice cream eating binge. And that came on really quick, and so I stopped with the ice cream. Well, I have a little bit, but not every night. I do a lot of the low-cal. Sometimes I don't go sugar-free, because sometimes the sugar-free is just as bad. But I look for things that have lower carbs, lower calories, you know, and I just deal with it, you know. So. And plus, I could eat more. You know, instead of sitting down to a dish of ice cream, you know, and having 1,000 calories, you know, I can have 7, 8, 9, 10 popsicles through the course of the night and not be anywhere near the 1,000 calories, you know. So, all right. Anyway, I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to try something, and I keep getting my face out of the picture. I seen something out there. I forgot his name. I think his first name is Danny. He's in Massachusetts, and he does a lot of I don't want to say teaching, because he's really not teaching. He's showing you things, so in a way he's teaching it to you. But he does a lot of videos on Filmora and different effects that you can do with it and how to get things done. You know, and his method of doing so is something that just about anybody can understand. You know, he's not talking in all these professional tangled words that you have to learn the words before you can learn what he's talking about. So, he did a hour and a half live a couple of weeks ago. If I remember, I'll put it in a link. But he's going. So anyway, I did this. I watched it. You know, I don't comment too much on him because I may not be there forever watching it, because I don't like watching live shows because it takes me away from watching other videos. So, you know, but after I'm pretty well set and done and I'm caught up on everything, I go back to it and I continue to watch it. But he was doing something with an orange, tracking, you know, where it shows, you know, and then the track where it follows you around. He tells you where you can find some good free programs, where you can find some good background pictures of anything. Or, I mean, he's a pretty talented guy, you know, and he's pretty good on giving away information. You know, he's not looking, you know, well, you can support me by, you know. Now, he does have a support channel, you know, or whatever you want to call it. But most part, you know, he's not in your face, you know, with gimme, gimme, gimme. He's more giving than he is taking. So, all right, anyway, I want to work on this thing. I don't know if it's done yet. Well, it's sticking to everything else. So let's see if we have anything going here as far as how this is working. Is it working enough where I can... Yeah, okay, it's working enough so I can work on it. Okay. Let me put this back. Put this back. What's the matter, guys? Did Mommy take Bud to the doctor? Yeah? Well, everybody's been there but Jem. She's wondering where his Bud went, because she's been his mommy since they've been together. You know, whatever. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let me put this in my pocket. Alright, so here's what we have. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole through this, probably a 1/2 inch, and then I want to make sure we have no leakage. So what's nice about this is it has all these little serrations around for gripping. So if I spread some, maybe epoxy. Yeah? What, Bud went to the doctor? Yeah? Your brother went to the doctor? Yeah? You want me to open up the door? Alright, let me open up the door. Hold on, guys. Hey, Tut Tut. Hey, Toad. I'm back. So let's get a bit. I'm going to do this one by hand. I don't need to fire up the old. Drill press. Now this is really driving me nuts that I can't find that meter. I mean, the meter is like the #1 thing. The meter is something that I'm always turning to. Always. Alright, I need to put this. I was looking at a couple of unibits, or step bits, whatever it is you want to call them. And I was down at Home Depot and Lowe's. And they had a couple individual pack, you know, one in a pack. I forgot the brand. It was a known brand. It wasn't like Black & Decker or, you know, DeWalt or Makita or Milwaukee. But it was a brand. But for one bit, they wanted $38 or $39 for it. And I'm going to tell you what, without me knowing for sure, I'm not going to spend that kind of money for that. So I'm going to find out a little bit more about it. I'm going to do some research on the tube. And I don't want to find research on the tube of somebody that bought one and used it once or twice, you know, or just bought it and telling you how great it is when they haven't had a chance to really use it. I want to find somebody that's had it and has been using it. Yeah, I've done that once. And I felt bad. See? Now we got a hole in there. See? When I bought the Skies, SCCY 2, it's a gun. I went nuts looking for it. Couldn't find it here in Connecticut. Now, I'm not going to tell you the whole story because, you know, on finally how I found it and all that kind of shit. But I will tell you that I did end up buying one. I gave it to my wife. I think it was Christmas. Yeah, I gave it to her for Christmas. Because it was a good size. You know, because I always say the caliber and the size, you want them to kind of match. You know, you don't want to have a large caliber with a little gun. Because then you're going to get a big boom and you're not going to like it. And if you don't like it, you're not going to use it, you're not going to practice with it. Hence, why have it? So anyway, now what am I looking for? I am looking, oh, I put it in here. I'll put it away. No wonder I couldn't find it. So we went to the range the day after, you know, to the club the day after, and I fired like 2 rounds just to make sure it was okay. I didn't have a target up. I just loaded it up, and, you know, bam, bam, okay, here it's safe. Unload it, give it to her, and away she goes. Well, she was doing pretty good with this thing. At 20 feet, you know, she's putting them in about here, which is fine. You know, I always say, listen, if you could cover the palm of your hand at 20, 21 feet, that's going to take care of the problem. So, but anyhow, she was doing okay with it. And then, as we were getting closer to going, I says to her, here, let me try it. So, I loaded up 10 rounds in the mag. We have a 10-round limit here in Connecticut. If you have anything, or if you had anything, prior to the 10-round restriction, you were allowed to keep it. However, you can't keep more than 10 rounds in it if you're carrying it. That's all there is to it. So, You know, and they want you to register them. They want to know that you have them. Well, there's a lot of pros and cons on that. I say I have it. Now they say if it's not registered, it could be a felony. They're just looking for a reason to take away your permits around here. So, you know, some of you guys down south now and in other states to where your gun licensing was basically whatever you wanted it to be. Well, when you start seeing the restrictions, you're going to start, oh shit. You know, and we don't have NRA up here to help us. We have NRA, but they're not here to help us. They don't make enough money on this state to help us. That's the way they look at it. It's all here. Anyhow, I tried it, and I said, wow, I like it. I bought another one. I called them up, you know, the next working day that he was open, because this was around Christmas. Well, it was the day before Christmas, day after, by this time. And I said, can you get me another one? He goes, yeah. Okay, fine. Same price? Yeah. Okay. So I bought 2 of them. And I'm liking it. I did a video on them, saying how much I liked it. How good it is. They're so good I bought 2. Now I watched some of the videos on them on YouTube prior to buying it, and you were getting all kinds of mixed videos. And it's hard sometimes when you're watching videos on a firearm because, well, with anything, it's whatever that person knows about and thinks about and has worked with. You know, if somebody's never fired a firearm before, you know, and this is their first gun, oh, I like it, because they like the experience of the firearm. So they really don't know what a good gun is versus a bad gun. It worked. We're happy. Well, I'm going to tell you, I use mine more. I'm at the range, or was at the range, a lot. So I says, I started using it a little bit even when I was training, you know, when I was giving classes. So I got to a point where I finally hit around 1,000, 1,200 rounds. And during this point in time, I had to call Sky in Florida 2 or 3 times because I was having issues. One was what appeared to be a magazine issue. I call him up and I'm talking to the guy on the phone. Guy says, oh, it's got to be the magazine. I said, well, that's what I was thinking. I said, but you know. He goes, well, we don't do our magazines. That's the only thing we don't do. However, we're going to start. He said, so I'm going to send you 4 more new ones, 2 for each gun. And I said, well, fine. Now, the wife's gun we weren't having problems with, only because she doesn't use it that much. She may have 400 rounds through it, if that. Where at this point, you know, I've got 1,200 through it, or better. So, I may even have his name in here still. So anyway, I'm talking to him, and he sends me 4 new mags. What happened with the same with the new mags? It's doing the same thing. So, well, he says, send it back. All right. Then I'm using it, and it's what they call a module gun, so you can take the action right out of the frame as one piece. There's 2 pins. Push the pins out, it comes out. You want to put a new one in, put it in, pin it, and you're done. So, who is this? Yellow. Yeah, goodbye, Allison. So I call him up and I'm telling him about it. I says, by the time I get through 12, 14, 15, 20 rounds, the pins start to work out. Well, if the pins work out of the gun, it's going to fall out of the frame. He goes, oh, he says, we did have a few, he says, that we're doing that. We're working on it now, but I'm going to send you 4 new pins. So he sends me 4 new pins. SCCY. SCCY, Sky. I was talking to a Jason. So anyway, sends me 4 new pins. The pins come in. I still may have a few of them around here someplace. The pins were so big, as far as the girth, you know, fat, that they wouldn't go in the hole at all. If I was to try to put them in there, the frame, which is plastic basically, is going to start giving me that little spider cracking, you know. So I call him up. I said, these things are way too big. He goes, well, sand them down to what you need them on. Well, all right. Now, yeah, I'm already starting to get a bad taste in my mouth at this point, because I shouldn't have to become a gunsmith on a gun. And I really didn't buy the gun to have it in transit for the rest of its life. You know, they got my money. I got a gun. It doesn't work. Okay, send it back. It has a lifetime warranty, which it does. And the warranty is on the firearm, which means if I was to sell the firearm, the warranty goes with it. So whoever has it has a lifetime warranty on it, which is also nice. It's a good selling point, as long as the company stays in business. But, you know, already I'm not liking it. So after it being sent back a couple times and me doing a half a dozen adjustments to it, you know, it's still acting up. You know, I can't get through a magazine without doing a wrap rack reassess. That's all there is to it. And it was really getting to be annoying. So it became more of a training tool with the students, not for them to learn how to shoot, but for them to learn how to clear a weapon when it screws up on you. Because that's one thing that a lot of instructors don't teach. And I'm not knocking anybody in the way they teach. Everybody teaches in their own way, and their own way is going to be best for them, which is going to be best for you. But you want to make sure you kind of cover all the bases. Don't go by the book. The book plus some. And the sums come with experience over time. So anyway, to make a long story short, I get to the wife's gun and I said, babe, I don't want you to have it. So I took it from her. And I did a lot of research, like I was saying. On the research, I was finding that a lot of them liked it, a lot of them didn't like it, a lot of them was running it. Oh, we've had it for 5 months. Well, having it and using it, you know, how many rounds did you put through it? Well, I put 200 rounds through it. Talk to me when you get 1,000, 2,000 rounds through it. You know, I mean, to me, that's not using your gun. You know, 1,000 rounds a day is using your gun. But at that point, I took it away from her. Then I found somebody that did a video on it, that it would lock up each time, every round. He sends it back, gets it back, and he has a little counter going. So, bump, nothing, nothing, nothing. Counter's going, boom, bang, 1, okay. You know, and he has something like, 80 to 1, some, big old number. So, I wish I'd seen that video sooner. Because sometimes you can blame it on the person that's using the gun. You know, you have a limp wrist, it's going to lock up on you. You know, you're too tight, it's going to lock up on you. You know, you really don't need to think about that unless you have problems. Because naturally you normally just come into the right hole and all. But if you start screwing up, then you start thinking about that. However, I took it away. And like I said, with the instructors, some of them teach what's in the book, and they teach it well. You know, the NRA book, and they teach it well. You know, but there's other things you need to know. So I use this one, the one that I know that's going to screw up, for teaching them, you know, what to do if you have a jam up on a semi-automatic or a pistol, and you need to clear it. You know, what are you going to do with it? You know, and it's, you know, everybody calls it a little different. It used to be called wrap, rack, and fire. They changed that sense. Wrap, rack, reassess, wrap, rack, ready, you know, that type of thing. Where basically what you're doing is you're wrapping the bottom of the magazine, you know, like you mean it, just in case there's a little cluster jam up in there. And then you rack it like you mean it, right? Throw that out of there. And don't cover the port with your hand, you know? Grab it on the tail end where you're supposed to be grabbing it, not the front of the gun. And then at that point, up and reassess. If the threat's still there, we'll pull the trigger. But the wrap, you know, the wrap, rack, reassess. And a lot of instructors don't teach any of that stuff. You know, they don't teach about what's offered, what's not offered. You know, meaning if I put my hand out there, I'm offering you that hand to shoot. You know, because I'm putting my hand out there to shoot. Well, that's what I'm offering you. You know, you have a hostage. You're behind the hostage. If I stick my head out, that's what I'm offering. Well, if you're thinking about taking that shot, you better know what you're doing. Because if not, you're going to kill the hostage instead of killing or shooting the threat. But basically, that's what I mean by that. So there's a lot of things that they don't teach. But for the most part, the Sky sucks. Now, I took it away from the wife. I have both of them in the range bag that I use for students. One of them, the sight fell off it, the front sight. So I took a piece of this PVC board and I worked on it, whittled it, sanded it, grinded it, drilled a hole in the bottom, took it off, adjusted, got it hooked up, everything is fine. Put a couple daubs of clear epoxy with a little green glow in the dark dust. So now I have a glow sight on it. But again, it keeps falling apart. Now I don't know how I got on that one. And if I try to figure that one out, I'll end up going someplace else. So let's not do that. So yeah, I'll have to watch this video to find out. And then I do so much of this. Who, me? What? When you comment on my video, I think it was Ian, said something about a good speech or whatever it was. You know, I'm always trying to be funny about it, which is fine with me. Insult me, I don't care. And then I said, what the hell did I say? So then I got to go back and watch it because I don't remember what the hell I said. The only thing I can remember is I gotta find my popsicles. Okay, so this is the new epoxy that I mixed up 50-50. It doesn't seem to be wanting to dry very well, so I guess we're gonna have to wait before I finish it because I wanted to get in there and clean it up a little bit. So let me just take this and this whole box and put it over here. Over here! Really like to know what I did with that damn meter. Look what I just found. Ah! Now what was I using this for? This is Warbler. Why did I make that? Oh, I know why I made this. When I had all the radios and everything back there, I had a 12-banger fuse box that I was using, and the wires all came in from the back, and I didn't feel like having make it and drill it out and all that. So I just left the back open, and this slid up right up against them, and everything was covered. I didn't have to worry about dropping anything on the fuses. Well, now that that's been taken care of, I have a piece of warbler here. Warbler, 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 warbler. Oh, let me take you out and show you the fence. I think we're still going here. We're getting better with the fence. Still not completely done with it, but we're getting there. And still blowing leaves. I got most of them out. Hi, Jen. You're okay. So this one's up. Now, you see that piece right there and that piece right there? That's sandwiching the fence between the page link, or the chain link, which those poles are in the ground. I mean, like down in. And so I didn't have to do anything with post. And then we got across. I put two pieces of pressure treated up there. The two bottoms that are sandwiched with a piece of ply in between. There was a few spots on there I didn't care for, so I said, you know what? It was too good to take down. It just had a couple of spots if I hit it with the claw, you know, or if it was wet when I hit the screw in, it would kind of like just spin in the wood. So there was a few pieces that weren't great. But what I did was I wiped it down with water and bleach and some soap, and then I scrubbed it down with a steel brush. So I got rid of all that crap. On Jim. Yeah. And we got that all up nicey and level. So we're basically done. I just have to get another piece going across the center. And that piece that's right there, it's a little high. I got to get that back down and screw that in. But for the most part, this is done. The wife said, should we have painted it or stained it? Well, yeah, stain would have been nice. Or a little bit of an oil base, something or other. But getting it up was more important. If worse comes to worse, I can always take the sprayer out and spray it real quick. Huh. Yeah, somebody wanted to see you. They were asking about you today. You gonna say hi? Well, you gotta look up here. Don't, where are you going? Apparently she likes her butt wrapped, scratched. Well, they all do, because they can't really reach this spot. Huh, can't really reach this spot, huh? Yeah. Yeah, there she is. There's my gem. So she's getting much better. Huh, yeah. And she likes little T, but little T is older, and he doesn't really want to be bothered. You know, but she doesn't understand that. Yeah, Gem, he's just not that into you. Okay, I gotta figure out what it's trying to do right here, because I can't tie things behind me. Never could. Now, I don't want to put a knot in it. And if I tie it in front of me, I got the strings hanging in my face. Alright, I think I got it set. So now we have the other side up. Well, here, I'll take it here while I'm at it. This is going to be just one of those long videos. If you want to watch, you watch. Huh, Tuck? This is all back out only because we were blowing the leaves. We were working on the fence, and it was pouring rain, and I want to get the top piece done, so that's going to be next. Right after I get done with this over here. And it's going to go fast as well. It's the wood. That's got to get done this year. I mean, and this has got to get thrown out. I took it off. You know, when that John Deere went dead on me, you think about it, you say, what kept him from painting the cellar door? You know, or what kept him from doing this, or what kept him from doing that? Everything else that I normally do with the tractor, that I had to do without the tractor, takes a lot longer, and that just made it worse. Alright, so same thing here. What's going to happen is we're going to take and put another piece in here, and we're going to screw them in, and that'll sandwich this between these two. Then I have the clamps, so I can just jump right onto this if I want. Basically, I'm going to do it here though. I'll put the clamp right into here, out and around and in, and I'll put those on every one of those. This is the old fence. This is what I was telling you about. How it's just crappy. See how that gets all rotted and everything in there? I mean, these are really, and how many times did I have to screw in? I mean, really. But what I'm going to do with these is, let me put this up here for now. This is the split unit, so I'm going to come in here with the leaf blower, which I have to do. And then, alright, so anyway, what's today? Today's Tuesday. Tuesday. I'm not getting a lot of big stuff done today that I want to get done, but I am getting things done. That's all that counts at this point. Now, I put a new battery in this yesterday. So now let's see what happens. Oh, that was nice. I should put air in this tires. Hold on a minute. The front tires on these things are so damn low, it's hard to steer them. But then again, they were both flat for the longest time. And then, let me see, I really don't feel like pulling out another air hose. I don't know if I can make it or not. Let's see. I guess I should bring a small air hose back here. And nothing big, maybe 15 feet or so, because that would get me around here a little bit more than I would need. See, this one almost makes it. Ah, shit. Okay. I guess I can move it over a little bit more. Hold on a minute. Let me take the trailer off it. There. And you know what? It's the tire on this side. Now, what happens when you put the trailer weight on it? It just makes it worse yet. And I knew it was kind of low. I think it was yesterday, because I was bringing the trailer back here. And usually when I have the trailer on the front of the tractor, it's really easy to use. But when the tires are flat and it's hard to turn it, I wish I had power steering. Well, then I noticed that I wish I had air in the tire. Now the backs seem to stay up all the time, it's the front ones that I seem to have problems with. The same with the lock splitter. Yeah, that feels okay. Alright. Okay. So let's see what happens now. Hey guys. Now, let me do this. I'm going to put these on the other side of the property. Put them over here just in case I need something to work on that fence with. There. See, when I pull that tree out of there, I don't know what this fence here is going to look like. Now, even though these are pieces of crap, if I sandwich them up there, 2 to 2, 2 to 2, and screw them together, it'll support that for me. And it won't look that bad. So, and the bamboo is going to take over anyway, as you can see. I mean, it's already come out past the fence. This all used to be behind the fence. Eventually, I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do with it. I really don't care if it takes over part of this, or even comes out as far as I'm standing and over to that fence. So if it takes in that whole corner, I really don't care. Because this is part of the other property anyway. Where these trees are up here in that light post, not that one, that one. That line all the way down is where this property starts, not where the fence is. And it ends down on the other side of these trees, and on the other side of that rock up there. I did want to fence in that whole rock at one time. I figured it'd be nice for the boys. They could, you know, run up there, climb, whatever they wanted to do. You know? But anyway, like I said, if it floats around here a little bit, that's fine. It wouldn't be hard to stop as long as the tractor's running the backhoe. Bud. Oh, it was so nice to be able to just start this thing up and go. All right, now what the plan is, hey Bud, I want to get the leaf blower out one more time. How are you? How you doing? Did you go to the doctor's today? Huh? Did you go to the doctor's today? Yeah. We gotta get rid of that fat ass. Yeah, you started getting in shape, and then you started eating like a pig again. So we gotta get you out more. Yeah, and we gotta put you on a lean, mean diet. Yeah. So we're gonna keep you full, and you're gonna lose weight at the same time. You think that's a good idea? Think that's a good idea? You think that's a good idea? Oh, let me show you what I'm talking about with his ears. Oh, he's not going to let me show you. See how it's kind of closed in? It's kind of looks like an asshole. For those of you who know what an asshole looks like. If not, go on YouTube. You'll find lots of them. So, but yeah, it's kind of like all closed in and things. Now, he can hear. You know, and everything. the vet told us today that there's a few little polyps in there that they can't do much about. They're not growing. They haven't grown. And they also said that, he's going to have this condition. That's all there is to it. So, Now, Duffy, one of our big boys, had an ear problem as well. And what we had to do, I'm sorry, I'm moving the camera all over the place. What we had to do was, every other day, we had to get in there and just clean them up a little bit. But with Duffy, the infections were there all the time, but the ear canals were open enough to where we were able to, put an ear cleaner in there and clean it. Where on his, they're closed up a little bit, and moisture is his problem. Because the moisture is what's causing the issue. Right, I want to do a few things out there, but I can't do them out there just yet, only because I won't hear the phone if it rings. And if it rings, I want to make sure that I hear it in case it's Mama. Mama! 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 Don't let your son grow up to be a cowboy. Teach him a trade, like standing on a cone or selling drugs. Lots of money in it. You'll be important. You'll be an important person. People come from all round your drug. Make sure you lace it. Lace it enough, keep them coming back. Alright. Seeing that I can't do anything here really, I did want to check something. What did I do with it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Somebody wanted to see you. Yes. Yes, somebody wanted to see you. I told her I tried to get some video of you. And there he is. There's Bud. Such a gentleman. He lays on the couch that I lay on when I'm not in there. And we eat while we watch TV. We don't sit at the table. We just take our dish and we go into the living room and plop on the couches. And she jumps on her couch, I jump on my couch, and we munge. Watch TV, do a little bullshitting. I'm not much on bullshitting, however, when I'm eating. I don't like to talk too much when I have food in my mouth. However, if you're an Italian, that's what they do. But my wife, being Italian, her whole family, notice it. It seems like they're quiet. You're sitting at the table. They're quiet. And then they start talking. They can't talk unless they got food in their mouth and their hands are free. Because this, and the jaw, and the food, I think it's all part of the process of chewing and digesting. That's part of their plant, their power plant. Talking, chewing, swallowing, and hand gestures. Myself, I will occasionally, but I really don't like to eat my food rolling around inside my trap. Alright, I'm going to unplug you and we're going to get this up. Alright, you know, the other day I was doing something in this room. I think it was with the 360 camera. And I didn't even realize it, but the TV was on. And the camera was next to the TV. And the TV was loud. And it was annoying. So I apologize for that. I'm here. I want to get some flux other than the liquid. And I want to get a couple pieces of heat shrink. I think I'm going to buy some more of this. I like the paste because it's going to around water sometimes. I'm not into water. There. And this one right here. That was bang over the fires. Took on the plate. Nice. Now, this one fit over this. Oh, so, yeah, that's a good one. I mean, it goes on. It's just that once it starts getting up there a little bit, it decides to stiffen up on me. What I'm doing is, you may or may not see it, but I'm sanding off a little bit of the coating here, and it is working because I see it coming off and flaking. And I really didn't have to take off, or don't have to take off that much. Makes sense now, huh? Well, it can't be to the east of everybody. See, it's east of New Haven, where Yale is, so it's East Haven. Anyhow, when I was talking with the doctor, I said, holy shit, I says, you know, sorry I didn't get the blood work to you. Now this was a week and a half ago, but I didn't realize that they were closed. Oh yeah, they're remodeling. Ah, okay. Well, why would you shut down both of them at the same time? That doesn't make sense to me. But I'm sure there's a reason behind it. May not be a reason that I agree with, but I'm sure it's a reason enough for them. And unfortunately, the world doesn't revolve around bugs. Darn. Oh, okay, come on. I haven't used it, so shut down in temperature. I gotta find out what that timer is on that. It is adjustable, I just don't know. Didn't read up on it. What did I do? Oh, here it is. Let's get some more solder. Let's put some more flux on this thing. Get the solder ready. Well, I got something else here I want to try and destroy something while I'm in the middle of trying it. That one is connected. Now this is the one that I wanted to try to work with here. So let's see. If I move that one back to there, and that one to there. Now, a little flux on this piece. And a little bit of solder, a little bit of soap will wash away. This one is bad. Alright, so we're going to let that cool down for a second. And then we're going to charge it back up and try to slide that down back over that way. That's what we're going to try to do. That's going to be the try. The try to. Now what do I have up here? I have two clear. I got to label these. I keep pulling them down here and I keep forgetting to label them. And they're both clear, so. That smells like alcohol. Smells like alcohol, which it could be. And this one's alcohol. So I got two alcohols. Yeah, it's alcohol, not hand cleaner. Whoa! Oh, maybe that is hand cleaner. This is alcohol, that's for sure. Okay. And then the thing is, if I just write on them, it doesn't work. Because, you know, from the material in it, and me rubbing it and holding it and playing with it, you know, it comes off. I'm talking about the bottles of liquid, guys, and the name. Boy, you guys are pigs. Alright, and the other day I had a little glass about yay big. It was like a little chemistry thing. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with that? I threw it away. Well, I'm looking for a place to put some of this so I can keep some of this paste out here. Now that I threw that away, hello. Alright, so this and this go to a meter. And I can't find that meter. This is serious, guys. I mean, I use that one more than the other one. Because the other one, the Fluke, I like to keep that one on the bench in the back. So if I got to do any repairs back there, that meter's there and I know I'm all set. The other one is the one that I keep here and in there and in the truck. I just move it around with me. I'm going to have to look in the van one more time. I put a new battery in the van too, by the way. One side is connected. I didn't connect the other side. I got almost a 5 amp draw. I put an amp meter on it and almost 5 amp. That's quite a bit, you know. I mean, even with the memory of the radio and the clock, I mean, that should be well under an amp. You know, if it was an amp, I'd even say, oh, okay. But 5 amp is a little tough. That's enough to drive me crazy. So I got to figure out what that 5 amp draw is. All right, let's see if we can get this on here. Let me get some more soap, more soap, more soap. And push, 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 push. Ho, 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 did that work out? All right. Now what? Well, I gotta get my little torch. Ah, it's right in front of me. Okay. It is. Let me open these while I'm at it. These are one of those things that when I use them, I don't want them to be all tangled up. I want to be able to just grab it and use it. And when it's all wrapped up like it is, see what happens? So if I went to grab it and use it, that wasn't going to happen. So I got to hang it. There. Now I should put a little weight on it for now, but just let it be. Here's even a set of jumpers. Oh, that's for this. All right. See, and this is the side, the small, the black wire side. That's the one that I wanted it to kind of tighten up on, that and the solder joints. This other side, it was pretty well snug. The problem being is if I had to use the bigger one, it would have never gotten down onto this one enough to where I'd be happy with it. Now after I did all that work, we'll try it, but I'm going to let it sit here for a minute. Oh, you see what I did here? I forgot to take that off. Whoop, there we go. Okay, so now that's off. I'm glad that I made the wire a little bit longer by adding that piece on there instead of just putting the end on it like I was going to do. One is, it was a little bit easier for me to do. And the other is, it made the wire a little bit longer. Now, this. Oh, here's the other thing I want to try. This here. See this? That's fine. It really is, you know. But if I can get this one on there instead, that would be much better. Now this one unscrews from the handle, I think. Or does it unscrew from the top? Let's see how this unscrews. Okay, so that's threaded right there. So this handle is what's holding it on there. And there's no ball or anything on this, so there's really no way of holding this one on there to where if I needed to move it, I could. See if it unscrews from the handle. How it's in the handle. See, I don't want to ruin it if I can't use it because it's a good working glass. Well, now wait a minute. Now we may have something here. Now we may have something. See what I got there? Now there's not that much difference between that and this one. So let's see if in fact it'll work at all. I don't know if it's going to fit in there the way that it should. Doesn't look like it wants to. Screwdriver, screwdriver.
Medic 3 respond. Priority 2, medical.
Hey, bud. How you doing, bud?
Medic 3, 14, Sycamore Way. TH care?
Yeah, see, that'll snap in there. So, alright, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to just leave it on here for a few days to see how it actually works. It does turn. It turns on this one as well. If it does work, all I need to do on this one, this is straight all the way. It doesn't have that little ball on the end, but it's as thick as the ball all the way. And it's got a little bit of a groove around here. All I need to do is take the Dremel and move that groove a little bit, and that'll actually form a ball. So it'll look just like this one. However, I don't want to do that until I know for sure that I'm going to be using it. So I'm going to leave it like it is for now and see how it's going to work. Yeah, I am. It might be a little too heavy for all the balls in general. Okay, so meanwhile, I didn't plug it in. This is for the light, which is this, which is adjustable in more ways than one, as you can see. Now that's adjustable. And I wanted it up higher. Originally I had this down on the board itself. And then the board was actually a lot smaller at one time. But I found myself not having enough room to work with. And by this being movable, it just kept falling over. I had to keep clamping it, or I had to screw. It is ridiculous. And then I didn't have no room for light. Well, this over here, this light that you may, oh there you go, was a webcam that I used to use to have in the window, so if I was on a computer I'd be able to see out in the street. But it's a real cheap one. It cost me like $10, and half the time it didn't work. So I said, you know what, that's not going to happen. So I took it away and I put a light in it instead, and took the base, modified it to fit into this one, and that's what I did. This is a piece of copper water pipe. I sweated the base into that, wired it, came through the board, and I put a plug back here, right here. So when I plug this in, I can plug it into 12 volts right here, and I have light. It's adjustable here and here. So now my next thing was, I was thinking about possibly putting a little clamp of some sort. Nothing that's going to take a lot of time. Something where if I just want to do this, you know, and put a like clip, it's done. That type of thing. I don't want to make it a project. And then by bringing this up, I may also make the board bigger, so now I have room to work. And now with this big glass, what I've noticed so far, just by me talking with you, is I'm standing up and I'm looking and I'm seeing everything right here. So I didn't have to bring the glass down, or nor do I have to get down into it. It kind of works for me. Alright, so what I'm going to do is put this back over here, put the clamp on that so it holds it, get this out of the way for now. And this also has rubber bottom, slip proof. And I got to work on something that I've been working on mentally. I do have some sketches and drawings, but I never really started making a prototype. I think I have a good thing that can actually be made in prototype, so I can get a patent on it, or at least a patent pending something, so that I can kind of let a little bit of the cat out of the bag. All right. Now, what am I going to do? Well, while we're here, what's in here? Nothing. Oh, okay. Put that over on my nothing container file. 3 hard drives. They all work. Here's the hand cleaner. That means one of those, I got to check into one of those. I don't know what the hell it is. These 3 hard drives work. I don't really want to hook them all up, because I don't need to hook them all up. But if they're hooked up, they're going to be used. If they're being used, that's better than them just sitting around not being used. And there's another hard drive in here. Alright. Here's the pad. Just leave that on there. What's this? What's that you say? Oh, that's the power for this. I took it out for a while. What do I want to do with these hard drives? I want to put them to where? I'll put them in here. Where's the other one? There it is. Ah, there's another one. Now they're not monster drives, but sometimes, and they're not as convenient, for instance, as a thumb drive, but if you want to hook them up, they're there, you know, so that's all I'm concerned about, it being there when I need it. I may just get a whatchamacallit and put them all into it and just put it over there and let them be. Alright, these things here, let me put them in there for now. This goes up here, goes up here. What is this thing up here? Okay, that goes up there. Sandpaper. I can keep this little bit over here against the wall. this actually belongs here, so I can keep that covered. And now this, I think, goes right there. It does. I got to get a little container to put those in up here against the wall, because that goes on here. Or put a lip on this, so I can just set them there. Alright, anyway, so much for that. Pad. Rubber band, it's probably bad. It is, there's hardly no sponge to it at all, as Steve Ross would say, at all, hardly any at all. Alright, now, really have to wait. Oh, there's the rag. Okay, the mask is getting thrown away. This piece of rubber does not get thrown away, because I can always use this stuff. This I'm going to keep over here, right underneath that. Maybe not under that. Let me get it out of there. I don't want that there. Because if I pull that out, I'm going to end up pulling the cable out of the computer. So I need to find a home to put this. Mommy's home. Let me see if she's going to need a hand. The other day she went to the store. She comes back. She's putting things away. I'm in the kitchen, you know, she's chewing on something and I'm grabbing something. And next thing you know, she's going, Tilly, what's the matter? I got a hair in my mouth. How did I get a hair stuck between my teeth? Babe, what have you been doing when you go to the store? And then I had to follow that up with, if somebody doesn't mind getting shot, alright, so containers. There's containers. This piece. This radio here has to get programmed. This is going to go with that, that with that, that with that. Okay. I'm going to put these away. Hold on. Okay. Well, never did find the meter. However, I did get a lot done. Started cleaning up that corner. Found this little TV that I used to keep in the truck many years ago. And I also used to take it when I was working for port security. So I had a little TV in the little shack. And it also plays DVD, which is nice. Radio Shack doesn't, well, Radio Shack's not around anymore, but I got that from Radio Shack. And I was surprised on how clean and clear the picture was for what it was. So, alright, I'm going to go out the back door today. I'm going to show you a few things that I started to get done. I've been outside most of the day today. And my bride just came out to tell me that dinner is done. I don't leave the doors open. So, we full there yet? Yes, we are. So I can shut this off. I have it, first of all, the water, underground water here, which is like an irrigation pipe, but it's for, you can drink out of it as well. Can't drink out of all irrigation pipe. I've mentioned that before. But everything that I ran to here from the house is all done with the drinkable so-called irrigation. From here out into the yard, it's not. I mean, if you had to take a sip, you know, if you need it, fine. But I also have it hooked up to here. Now there's no hot water here, so when I turn it on, if I turn on the cold water and put it in the middle of hot and cold, it fills up the boys' bucket at the same time. Alright, so I took the power washer out, and it started right up, and I cleaned off a bunch of these old pieces of fence that I think I may hang on to. I'm going to strip them down, get all the nails and staples out of it, because I think I might be able to use some of these pieces on the fence way back yonder. They suck, but if I'm putting them and sandwiching them between the Page fence, the chain link rather, it should be okay. Then I power washed off my little gym area, yeah, and a little bit that way, and then I kind of power washed off the grass and the leaves. I still have to come out here and get the rocks up and things, and I got to get some of that up away from the fence. But sometimes if you use the leaf blower, it blows, but if there's a wind, they want to come back on you. Well, with the power washer on the high, it's got one of those beater sprays, and as you're spraying, the leaves are getting wet, and if they get wet, they're getting heavier. As they get heavier, they don't want to blow back on you. So I find it to work a little bit better sometimes. However, you know, you're wasting water. But no matter which way it goes, you're wasting gas, electricity, water, depending on what it is you're using. I decided to go out the back, but as you can tell, I changed my direction. We're going to go out this way. I tried showing you the fence on the other side of the house, but every time I went over there, the battery went dead. So every battery that I had, apparently that I thought I had charged up over here, wasn't charged up. So never got any further than that. Alright, scanner's on, those are there, that's there. Turn the power off here. Bring this in, see if it's going to work for me. Power's off there. Alright, we're pretty well set for now.